We will implode more patriotic news. Thank you. Charles Krauthammer grabs violently the mic to warn Trump voter to be ready for what's coming soon. Fox News commentator Charles Krauthammer warned Thursday night that members of the political establishment, including some Republicans, are angling to remove President Trump from office. In a Fox News interview with Daily Caller co-founder Tucker Carlson following Trump's rally in West Virginia, Krauthammer warned that removing the sitting president from office would be a catastrophic mistake that would cause a rupture in the country. I think we are really headed into very choppy and dangerous constitutional waters. We know what the Democrats want to do. They want to get control of the House and then start impeachment. Now, I happen to think, as you know, I oppose the Trump candidacy. I don't think he is very well fit for the presidency, but fitness is not a reason for impeachment and removal. High crimes are, Krauthammer said. Here we have a prosecutor looking for high crimes. With Watergate, you started with a crime and then you try to find out what happened. Here, they are looking for a crime. Perhaps they will find one, I don't know. As of yet, I haven't heard of one. Collusion is unseemly, but it ain't a crime. So, you have got a political establishment, mostly Democratic, but there are some Republicans who would like to see him taken out of office, he continued. I think that would be a catastrophic mistake. It would cause a rupture in the country where people would say when we people, the ones who have been abandoned and when we elect somebody we like, our guy gets taken out? I thought we had a stable democracy. Again, I think he is unfit, but that's not the grounds for removal. Krauthammer's comments echoed the message Trump sent to his supporters at the rally Thursday night. Democrats, Trump said, are using the Russia investigation to cheat the voters they couldn't win over at the election booth. They can't beat us at the voting booths, so they're trying to cheat you out of the future and the future that you want, Trump said. They're trying to cheat you out of the leadership you want with a fake story that is demeaning to all of us, and most importantly, demeaning to our country and demeaning to our Constitution. Trump shocks the nation, swiftly responds to calls to fire McMaster. It has been reported recently that National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster is opposing everything President Trump wants to do. McMaster is also allowing former NSA Chief Susan Rice to continue receiving classified documents even after knowing she unmasked several Trump associates. Needless to say, many conservatives aren't thrilled with McMaster at the moment. Here are Trump's thoughts. President Trump defended Lieutenant Gen. H. R. McMaster, his embattled national security advisor, on Friday in the face of a full-bore campaign by the nationalist wing of his political coalition accusing him of undermining the president's agenda and calling for his dismissal. General McMaster has angered the political right by pushing out several conservatives on the national security staff and cautioning against ripping up the nuclear agreement with Iran negotiated by President Barack Obama without a strategy for what comes next. His future has been in doubt amid speculation that Mr. Trump might send him to Afghanistan. But after 2 days of unrelenting attacks on General McMaster by conservative activists and news sites, complete with the Twitter hashtag #FireMcMaster, the president weighed in to quash such talk. General McMaster and I are working very well together, he said in a statement emailed to the New York Times. He is a good man and very pro-Israel. I am grateful for the work he continues to do serving our country. It would seem for now that McMaster has job security. There have been talks of HR being replaced at the NSA by current CIA Director Mike Pompeo. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you want to see Trump keep McMaster around a little while longer? Let us know in the comments section. You'll be livid when you see what the Obama family is doing this weekend. There's nothing the Obama family loved more about their time in the White House than taking expensive vacations all over the globe. Now that they're out of the White House, they've set about using Barack's taxpayer-funded pension to take more trips on her dime. That the Obamas are heading to Martha's Vineyard this weekend for vacation. The family vacationed on the ritzy island 7 of the 8 years they were in the White House. Ann Crook, The general manager of the airport in Martha's Vineyard, confirmed that they were coming this weekend, but she did not say when. It's a little more than your run-of-the-mill celebrity, but not much, Crook said of restrictions on airspace due to the visit. While in Martha's Vineyard, Obama will be free to spend the six-figure annual pension he receives from taxpayers on whatever expenses he pleases. Anything else will be covered by the six-figure salaries both he and Michelle are given for each speech they give. This comes after it was reported that a former Obama staffer had come forward to reveal Michelle always had a lust for power and all the luxuries it afforded. The aide said that it was actually Michelle who ran the show in the Obama White House, despite the fact that she once referred to it as a very nice prison. But the true person in charge of the White House was First Lady Michelle Obama, said former Obama staffer Lisa Mastromenico. She is the boss. She went on to talk about how bitter Michelle could be, and explained that she could really hold a grudge. If he was mad at you for any reason, you'd be, like, okay. If she was mad at you. If you thought for some reason she might be, you were, like, I'm in so much trouble, Mastromenico recounted. It's sickening that the Obamas still get to take lavish vacations with our tax dollars. Eric Bolling's accuser Carolyn Heldman just issued this statement. Eric Bolling's accuser, Carolyn Heldman, has issued the following statement on her Facebook page. Among her claims, Bolling referred to her as Dr. McCarty on 4 different occasions. Just suspended Eric Bolling pending allegations that he sent photos of his genitalia to female colleagues. My only surprise is that it took this long for people to come forward about Bolling's behavior, which has been wildly inappropriate for years. I did hundreds of appearances on Fox and Fox Business from 2008 to 2011, and had multiple experiences with Bolling that caused grave concern to my friends and family. Bolling referred to me as Dr. McCarty on air on 4 different occasions, and called me smart, beautiful, and wrong on air twice. I pushed back with Mr. McSexist, but I shouldn't have had to. This on-air behavior was perfectly acceptable to Fox executives at the time. Bolling would also contact me via phone and text after shows, sometimes to apologize for his behavior, and then do it again, and sometimes just to talk. He said he wanted to fly me out to New York for in-studio hits and to have fun. He asked me to have meals with him on several occasions, but I found excuses not to go. Once, he took me up to his office in New York, showed me his baseball jerseys, and in the brief time I was there, let me know that his office was his favorite place to have sex. I know other women have had similar experiences with Bolling, which means that lots of folks at Fox knew about his behavior well before 2017. Bolling was one of 3 men from whom I experienced sexual harassment and gender discrimination, the others being Bill O'Reilly and Woody Frazier. O'Reilly was creepy in person, told me when I was in college, professors didn't look like you, then called me hysterical during a show, edited the interview, and retaliated by never having me on his show again. Frazier took me under his wing as a mentor, constantly pressured me for a relationship and sex, took an idea for a show that would become The Five. I emailed Frazier a treatment that is remarkably similar to The Five, right down to some of the hosts. A year before The Five aired, dangled a contributorship and a hosting position for a sexual relationship, then stopped my appearances when I didn't acquiesce to his advances. Fox News guests are also a problem. In 2010, I consoled a makeup artist, who no longer works for Fox, after Gene Simmons sexually harassed her, and this was not his first time doing so. On March 20, 2011, Lenny Dykstra persistently asked me to a party and told me that he gets sexually aroused when I talk politics. He also harassed the makeup artist who was curling my hair at the time. Makeup artists at Fox are contract workers, so many are fearful of speaking up because they simply won't be hired again. If any Fox executives are reading this, please include makeup artists in your assessment of the environment. They see and hear a lot, and are sometimes the target of harassment from hosts and guests. There are a lot of great people working at Fox, many of whom I admire and respect to this day, but there is also a culture of sexual harassment that has not fully been addressed. I have faith that, given recent decisions to fire and suspend perpetrators, the new management will effectively shift this culture. Watch Hollywood legend Pat Boone breaks his silence, warns about anti-Trump plot. New Hollywood might be full of a bunch of liberals shouting nonsense, but old Hollywood? Old Hollywood is wide awake, and sharing much needed insight about our political climate. In an interview with Fox News, Pat Boone recently took the mainstream media to task for their treatment of our president. He called them out for attempting to vilify President Trump at every turn, and stated, "The fact that he is the President of the United States does not earn him any respect at all. In fact, it just makes him an easy target." From comedy sketches on Saturday Night Live to vicious news reports, President Trump has been attacked at every turn, and Boone is no longer holding his tongue. As a patriotic American, and devout Christian, Boone is disgusted with the mainstream media's constant assault on our duly elected president. It is his strong belief that these attacks, even when in the form of jokes, are doing a great deal of harm both to the president, and the climate of our country as a whole. Boone points out, in particular, the attacks based on Trump's faith. Christians in America have been persecuted for a while now, thanks to the heathenish left, and the degenerate mainstream media simply can't handle having a president who believes in the Lord. Trump is a fairly recent professed Christian. It was only in the last year or two that he has had input from Christian leaders and ministers, and I think he has come to fully understand what being a Christian is. There is more of an overt evidence of faith in Trump than there ever was in Obama, said Boone. This faith, along with his bombastic personality, makes Trump an easy target for the liberal media. Every character trait that we the people love about him, that made us want to vote for him, is a trait that his enemies can use against him. From his faith, to his jokes, to his inclination to not be politically correct, the left has it in for our president, and they will not give him a break. Pat Boone, of course, comes from an era of patriots who actually respected our elected representatives, and our country as a whole. We long for the days of old-time celebrities who knew what being a patriot was all about. Like John Wayne, and his never-ending love for old glory. Instead, we have celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg calling for President Trump to apologize to Obama, because he hurt Obama's feelings by accusing him of wiretapping Trump Tower. Never mind that Obama really did spy on Trump. The fact that she had the audacity to make such insane demands on our president just shows how inflated her ego really is. And Whoopi is far from the only celebrity hurling nasty comments, or making ridiculous demands, when it comes to our president. New Hollywood is filled with disgraceful, ungrateful, anti-American celebrities who don't deserve the success this great nation has given them. Good on Pat Boone for speaking up. Even at 81 years old, he's still with it and knows what's up. He's proof that anyone, young or old, has the right and the power to speak out against the mainstream media, and anti-American values. In fact, it's our duty, as patriots. Mark Wahlberg realizes perfect way to take off Hollywood libs. Most Hollywood stars are denouncing Trump and threatening to leave this country, and Mark Wahlberg has just done something to really make them lose their minds. Wahlberg made a trip to Des Moines, Iowa to pay his respect to fallen police officers and their families. I'm sure Hollywood stars, like the cop-hating Beyoncé, threw a fit, via Mad World News. The actor and director was in town to promote a health supplement line and to go to the advanced screening of his latest movie, Patriots Day. The screening was an invite-only fundraiser that raised funds for organizations like the American Red Cross, Hope for the Warriors, Operation First Response, and the Puppy Jake Foundation. And Wahlberg actually took the time to pay his respect to the families of fallen police officers. This isn't the first time beloved Mark Wahlberg has gone against the grain of Hollywood, which preaches anti-police and supports the BLM movement. He first began to stir the pot when he went against Tom Cruise after his movie, Lone Survivor, was released. For actors to sit there and talk about "oh I went to SEAL training, and I slept on the, I don't give a f gay what you did. You don't do what these guys did." For somebody to sit there and say my job was as difficult as somebody in the military's. How f***ing dare you? While you sit in a makeup chair for 2 hours, Wahlberg said, slamming Cruz indirectly. I don't give a sh if you get your ass busted, he continued. You get to go home at the end of the day. You get to go to your hotel room. You get to order f***ing chicken. Or your steak. Whatever the f*** it is. He said this conveniently after Cruz made some remarks that compared acting to serving in Afghanistan, which Cruz's lawyer said was taken out of context. Wahlberg met the families of 2 fallen officers, Justin Martin and Anthony Tony Bemenio. Martin was ambushed and killed while in his car on November 2, and Bemenio was killed responding to Martin's ambush call. The police chief of Des Moines, Dana Wenger, said about Wahlberg paying respect to the officers' families, "It kind of restores our faith in not only our community, but it shows us how far family really extends. It's heartening to see that some actors in Hollywood are not all the holier than thou liberals who have been inbred and festered in Hollywood for a number of years. There are still people out there who have respect for our nation's heroes. This is what many actors should be doing instead of refusing to accept Donald Trump and demanding he be removed from office. To all those petulant children, I say leave, please, and we will hash MAGA without you." What do you think about Mark Wahlberg paying respect to our officers? Please share this story on Facebook and tell us because we want to hear your voice.